What is up, App Nation? It is Steve P. Young, founder of App Masters. Whoa, killed my keyboard here. I gotta stop talking with my hands so much. Welcome to another weekly Friday YouTube live stream where I bring on a guest. We talk about a topic within the app space. And today we're going to talk about why 99% of the apps fail and how you could be part of that 1% that actually succeeds. And we also take a look at your app. And in the middle of it, I tell some dad jokes. All right, keep it light, keep it fun. But today I've got a phenomenal guest. I got to meet him a few years ago in New York at the App Growth Summit, and we remain friends. Super excited to have him on and talk about this particular topic because he's used to building a lot of apps for a lot of different people. So without further ado, let me introduce the guest right here. This which checkpoint right here. His name is Ken Vermeille. He is the CEO and founder of VermillionSky.com. VermillionSky.com is linked up into the YouTube description as well. But check him out if you have any app development needs. Ken, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Steve, for having me. And hi, everyone out there. Yes. I'm excited to be here, and I'm ready to roll.
Ken, I want to say hi to a few people, but before I do that, I apologize for being a little bit late. My audio wasn't working, so I had to restart and all that jazz. But Ken, you see and you hear a lot of app ideas, and like I'm sure you have the same problem. When I hear an app idea, usually people have already built it when they come to me, but they haven't done that when they come to you. How do you help a person be like, maybe you personally feel like, wow, this is a big idea. I don't know if it's going to work. How do you help a person guide them through an app idea to validating to actually making it as well?
So my big thing is before you start building an app, you really want to ask yourself, who does this app serve, right? Mm-hmm. You really want to put yourself in the mind of your user. And what ends up happening is everybody wants to create like a really cool thing, but they don't think about how it's actually structured from a business perspective, right? Because you don't want to spend $100,000, $200,000 on an application only for like 20 people to download it. Mm-hmm. Instead, you want to build, the next Facebook or the next Google or the next, Flappy Bird, right? So essentially what I do, what we do, because, it's not just me anymore, is we kind of walk through, we do a lot of like customer research, we do a lot of customer interviews, and we walk through the process of understanding the problem from a deep level, right? If we can't like breathe and speak and dream about the problem that we're solving, then we can't solve the problem, right? Mm. So after we have a good understanding of the problem itself and the person who's facing the problem, that's when we work on creating a solution to solve it, right? Mm-hmm. And we solve it through technology. We do a lot of UI, UX, and actual development. But it's a lot of understanding. It's a lot of empathy and design thinking. So once we figure out what that actually looks like, that's how. That's essentially how we're able to say, okay, well, this is going to be a really good idea because here's 200 people who really want your app right now. They're ready to use it right now. And they would literally give you money to have you solve their problem today. So that's essentially more or less the process. And there are other cool, fun things that we do in the midst of that.
Well, I like your website. You kind of talk about the importance of creating amazing UI, UX. And primarily when we look at apps, that's what we're kind of looking at too.
Yeah, well, the interesting thing is UI and UX is really what makes your app, right? That's like the underlying, just somebody opens the app. There are a couple of pathways to take, and if they take the correct pathway, they're really out there. Well, you're able to kind of guide them towards the solutions that you want. So, for instance, if you want them to make a purchase, or if you want to increase sales, you would use UI and UX to solve those issues. So there's a lot of like empathy and design thinking and really just understanding people, and people love being understood. Once you do that correctly, you can really build an app that's just amazing that people love to use.
One thing and I'm going to link it up into the blog post right here as well. I kind of have it up on my screen, but like right here, this is the blog post I'm referring to. And one of the big things you talk about is what are the most common reasons why an app might fail? And he says, your app has to do one thing very well.
Yep.
Can you talk a little bit more about that? Because I talk to a lot of people, and sometimes they're like, oh, it's for everybody, and here's what I want to do. And I'm like, whoa, what? There's too much going on.
Yes. So gone are the days of an app that does everything, right? That's dead, right? You don't want an app that does 20 million things, because essentially what's going to happen is a user's going to come in, they're going to use your app maybe once or twice, they're going to get confused, you're going to overwhelm them with features, and then they'll leave, right? If they have a problem that needs solving, right, they're going to be very specific and intentional about it. We all have, thousands hundreds of apps on our phones, and each of the apps that you use on a daily basis, all the apps on your home screen, or at least, in your favorite apps folder, they do one thing very well, right? They might have other features, they might have other secondary features, but the one thing that it does very well, that's the reason why you keep coming back. That's the reason why you open it 2 or 3 times a day. So if, you're looking for funny dad jokes on TikTok, then you're going to open up TikTok and have that problem solved for you. So the first version of your app should really just be one thing that you do very well. You knock it out of the park. It differentiates you from your competition, and then it sticks into your customer's mind. That's really where you want to be. You want to be that I'm very good at X, and that's it.
Mm-hmm. I like it. Is there a way, I guess, are there questions you ask a client who might come to you and be like, Ken, I want to do all this stuff. It's like, is there a question you like to ask, but what is the main thing you want? Is that the best question to ask too, so that you can focus your UI and UX into that one thing? Because sometimes maybe clients don't know what that one thing should be.
So usually when, I guess this is, I'm gonna tell you guys a little secret. When a client comes to us and they're like, we want to do 20 things.
Yeah.
Eventually, initially I'll say, okay, great. If you want to do 20 things, it's going to be $20 million. Do you have $20 million?
I like that.
Because if you really want to do it well, you're going to have to spend a whole bunch of money to do it well. And if you want everything to work with it, essentially what we figure out is, if your app did exist, right? What is the one thing that gets people coming back? What is the main reason why people would open it, right? If your app existed today, why are people opening your app? Why are people coming back? What is it that you do different from everybody else? Essentially, it's a variation on what makes you unique, and why would people like your app or business? But that's essentially what it is. It's, what is that one thing that people cannot live without that your app provides, right? If you could cut everything, if we had to get this out in 2 weeks, what is it? And then we pull that.
Yeah, I like the 2 weeks thing. I love this. This is great. You got the dad jokes already. $20 million, Ken.
Yeah. I mean, usually we're like, well, $20 million. I'm like, yes, because they're difficult.
I love it. I love it. I want
they're hard
to
things
use that
to build.
one too. All right. I want to say hi to a few people. Bizwati, welcome, man. Joe, good to see you every week. Rassi, how's it going? Carly, we're going to take a look at your app. She's all the way in Australia. I don't know if you're still in Australia, Carly, but it must be super late for you there. We've got Daryl from the Bass Parlour. We're going to take a look at his app as well. Bianca, good to see you. Trollmaster, we're taking a look at his app. Yep. And then we got Alex, Romaine, and then Ken. Joe loves your app. Joe's a designer, UI UX designer. He helps out a lot in in some of this app audit. He has some great feedback as well in the comments. But he's like, I like your company's website. Very nicely done.
Oh, thank you very much.
I like it too, man. I'm going to copy a lot of that stuff. I was like, holy cow. Good. All right.
2 p.m.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay. And Jojo, she's out in Australia as well. Celtic Whispers, he's out in Ireland. All right. And then Bianca says, I saw you on App Growth Summit in New York, NYC a couple of days ago. Good to see you again.
Oh, yeah.
You talked about what makes a good onboarding process, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right. What does make a good onboarding process, Ken?
So with onboarding, right, you want people to come into your app and be oriented, right? Because they could have downloaded your app from anywhere. Somebody could have sent them a link. It could have been from an ad, right? You want your onboarding process to let people know, this is what my app is about. Here are the main functions. Here's the main functionality, and here's what makes us unique. Here are some examples of how you can use our app. Do these examples. Usually I love checklists. So if your app is about posting video, you want to walk the person through posting their first video. After that, pretty much you could not get them to do whatever you want, but you can guide them towards your application's goals. So whether that again is make a purchase, spend more time, watch ads,
right?
Your onboarding process pretty much sets the stage for that. It's like your first dates. And you want to make sure that you get your first date right.
Yeah, I like that. And I was talking to a client because their onboarding was just like a main login screen. And I was like, what's the percentage of that? And they're like, well, it was pretty low. It was like 10%, 10 to 15%. And I was like, yeah, just because you're not doing that. You're not teaming me up. You're just like, hey, here it is. You know what I mean? Like, let's go. And I'm like, you have to team me up a little bit. Just 2 or 3 screens will be enough. Just be like, hey, here's a reminder of why you download this app. Here's what we do. Now, do you want to log in and create an account and all that stuff?
Yeah, because people will download the app and then not use it for 2 weeks. And then when they reopen your app, they're just like, hey, what is the thing that I downloaded? And they're like, log in. Why? And then they delete it, right? You don't want that. You want them to understand why they downloaded your app.
All right. Well, you ready to take a look at Carly's app, Ken?
Yep, let's do it.
All right. And we're going to take a look at Carly's right now. It's 2 a.m. for her. So Carly, we'll do yours first. It'd be mean of me to do yours last. That'd be really cold. All right. So video chat, Carly wants feedback on overall audit for a startup app, predominantly preview screens, logo, ASO, and app user experience. Okay. She wants it all. Essentially. All right. Ken, you want to kick it off?
Oh yeah, sure. So I did download your app, and it's pretty. So let's start from the top and go down. Logo, very good, very unique. It's something that stands out amongst all of my other apps. The logo also reminds me of Instagram. So it already puts me in a state of, well, this is like a social app. This is like a fun, it's a fun and interesting app. You're kind of taking the same feelings that you get from people using Instagram and kind of assigning it to your brand, which is really good. Let's video chat, live video. I mean, you're pretty much telling people exactly what your app does. I like that you have people in your iPhone screenshots. I like that you have people using the application, right? You have people having a good time. It's enticing. It makes me want to download it and move forward, right? Most of the time, people don't read descriptions. That's that too, right? One thing is I would put Meet Genuine Singles a little bit ahead of, one-on-one video chat, right? But before you have right in there, you have save video messages. I would put Meet Genuine Singles first because that's more of a call to action, right? Because if I didn't know that your app was a dating app from looking at this, I'd be like, oh, well, it's just a messaging app, right? If I can meet singles, great. Well, not me, because my wife is going to look at this. But if I was single and I was looking for singles and I saw that, I'd say, definitely I'm downloading it. Let's go. So that's one thing that I would do. I don't think that save video messages is a good kind of call to action, right? Because people don't, unless you've done the research and unless you really understand that people are just like, yeah, a big problem of mine is not being able to save my video messages. If you've heard that from people, then forget about everything that I said. But if you haven't, then no. I would also not let them know that they might have to potentially pay for this. I'd get them already invested. So I'd also remove the first date is free part and not necessarily say anything about it. Because the other thing is when people do download an app, if you do have in-app purchases, I wouldn't lead with your first foot forward, right? Let them see that, it's going to be posted there on the application, but you still want to get them hooked first. And then you say, well, if you want to have a better time or if you want to enjoy the other features, boom. Mm-hmm. I like that you also put your main feature, like the things that make you, really nice screenshots. Oh, the things that make you so again, when people read, they skim. So they're going to skim the titles, a unique live video chat experience, and the other stuff that's below that. So generally, overall, great. I would, kind of switch around the screenshots a little bit. You don't have to do the max screenshots on iPhones unless, and I would only suggest doing that if you were doing like a cool thing and where all of the screens kind of tell one story together, which I see that they're all kind of connected with the thread. And I didn't notice that initially, but other than that,
I like it.
Pretty good overall.
No, I agree with you, Ken. And Daniel says, hey, how do we submit an app for an audit? Here's how we do it. You just go to appmasters.com/audit. Daniel, there's a long line of people. And so this is submitted a few years ago, or a few months ago. But yeah, just go to appmasters.com/audit. We try to look at 3 a week. I agree with you, Ken. I like the genuine. I would probably play that up a lot more. Send video message, save video message. I don't know if I want you to be saving my video messages, right? Like it sort of almost feels counter, like I don't want that type of thing. And then agree with you on the first date is free as well. What I'd like to know from you, Carly, in the comments is this specific to Australia? Because what I feel like with dating apps, and you obviously we can disagree, Ken, so please disagree with me anytime. But what I feel with dating apps is the worst user experience is coming to a dating app and not finding anybody. So how I concentrate my marketing is always in a very like granular area. And so particular city or a region, just focus on that, because I think if you cast the net too wide too soon, you're going to have a really poor first-time user experience. So if it's just in Australia, what I would do is focus my ASO efforts on Australia. And so what we did for another dating client, he was only in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And so we looked at Pittsburgh Steelers, Penguins, sports related terms, because we wanted people in Pittsburgh to see the app and download the app. And so for an app like dating, or if you don't know this, Tinder outranks dating, right? Yep. And so this live video chat on here, it doesn't, when I first looked at the app, I thought it was all video chat. You're using video chat a lot, Carly, and I don't know if that's going to help your ASO. It used to be back in like 2013, 14 range where you had long titles and you could repeat, and it actually did help. I don't think it helps as much anymore, but try to find the right, I would say even competitors that have good volume, low traffic using the different ASO tools. That's what I'd be looking for if I'm just starting out.
Yeah, I agree with that. Focusing your efforts on a small range of people, because the thing is you don't need to make Tinder money yet, right? You need to make enough money to sustain the app's growth over time. Yeah. So if we're trying to target everybody, then we're not going to get the people that we need, or you might get the wrong people. You want to ensure that you're targeting the right people at their dating life cycle to ensure that everything works. So yeah, and definitely doing it region based would be super awesome as well.
The cool thing about dating is like there's many winners. Like people will download a lot of apps. So Joe says really nice screenshots. I like the way the curved lines guide the eyes. Just make sure they line up. Save message, genuine, and don't line up. Don't meet up. Okay, that's what Joe says. I might try keeping the text at the top so it's more obvious. Yeah, I kind of like that too. And I know Bianca said a comment about the same thing, very similar. I don't like this, but this is a personal thing. I don't have data. I wish I had data to be like, look, we did this and it failed, but I don't have data. But I don't really like how I've seen a lot of people do it, where I love the text, super big, Carly, but I don't like how it goes up, down, up, down. It just adds more work to me than I really want to do. You have an opinion on that, Ken?
Yes, I actually didn't notice that I did have to go up and down and up and down. But again, most of the time when somebody's going to download a dating app, they're downloading 10, right?
Yeah, totally.
So if the eye does have to work like that much, then you really want to tell your entire story in the first two or three and then kind of leave the rest and we also have these other features. So yes, keeping it above kind of and allowing somebody to just skim easily would prevent people from kind of doing that up and down thing.
Yeah, Bianca says the phones being up and down are distracting to me. So I agree. I think they're a little distracting. I just prefer to keep everything on top. Carly, let me know if there's a certain region in Australia that you're focused on, because I think that's where the ASO will do too. Like put it Melbourne or Brisbane, wherever region or city. or state you're focusing on, I would try to target those particular keywords. And usually like there's probably like parks, there's sports teams, rugby teams. Those could be good keywords to really start looking at in your ASO as well. Okay, let's look at the app, Ken. Now, the downside of me always looking at apps is I'm probably on a lot of dating apps, Ken. So
yeah. My wife doesn't like it when it's just like, why do you have Tinder and Mumble and Hinge and all these other apps on your phone? I was like, look, I'm just literally doing research. On all my dating profiles, it says, I am married, I am doing research. Do not contact me.
See, I need the positive reinforcement, so I put like, I'm ready. All right. Carly, you did ask for a push notification right upon launch. I don't recommend doing that. I always recommend a double opt-in, meaning like, hey, know when you get a message, would you like to enable push notifications? I hit yes, then you pop up that push notifications. I end up saying yes to you, Carly, because it's 2 a.m. and you're staying up late, and I appreciate that. Yeah. So, all right, I'm going to create an account. I'm going to take this away, Ken. As I do this, I have to be careful what I share. Okay, so I'm going to do that. Feel free to fill the silence if you want.
Fill the void. You know what? I'm actually going to adjust my lighting. Give me 1 second.
Yeah,
I'm still here, and I'm still moving around.
All right.
I just like the, sun is important.
Oh, I'm married. Doing research. But holla. I'm hot. I'm hot. Okay.
Cool. Is that your ideal partner? My wife.
My wife, yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh.
So one bad thing here is that this initial process, it's too long.
Yeah, okay.
You
like that.
You really want to ask. You want for a dating app, you want somebody to kind of get invested first, right? You don't want them to. You don't want to collect all this information in the beginning, or at least if you are going to collect information in the beginning, you want it to be a kind of fun process, right? Hey, like we're gonna quiz you, right? And Tinder and Hinge does this very well, in where you initially like their onboarding process is you are creating your account, but it's in a fun, unique way, and so usually people will see that initial big form and they'll say, well, I have something else to do, or they'll get a push notification from another app, switch out of your app, and they're like, look, I'm not going to fill it out. I know it sounds like people don't do that. It sounds like a little thing, like, oh, it's just a long form, right? It's 5-10 questions. People will just not. I don't know how to explain why. There's a lot of research out there that says, well, people see a big form and they get intimidated. It's not intimidation. It's just people want to be. It's not fun filling it out. So if you make your form fun, the screen is very overwhelming. Yeah. If you make your form fun, or if you just collect the minimum amount of information before somebody actually starts doing it, or you could even gate the initial date experience by saying, before you could go on a date, check.
That's what I was thinking.
Fill out your information.
Yeah.
That's the best way to do it. So. Yeah.
I agree with you. That's what I was thinking too, Ken. I was like, hey, help us find better matches for you. And then be like,
yes.
Boom. Then do this whole thing, Carly. But, I would say, look at your data. See, the thing is centimeters. I have no idea how much I am in centimeters. Let's just make me pretty tall. Oh, man, there's a lot more. Okay.
Yes. So
this is a small range. Look at the age, 18 to 20.
Well, I think, okay. Well,
let's go. I think I have to at least have 30, let's say 35. And you can be whatever you want. Oh, man. Okay, let's explore.
Another way to do that is to just kind of give people just kind of set everybody's preferences as one thing. And then later on, you prompt them like, hey, we've noticed, here are your preferences. Is this correct? Right. And then most people will be like, yeah, that's fine. Right. Most people, other people won't. So you really want to give them, there's a lot of opportunities to capture data from people in a non kind of like big form way.
Yeah, Carly says perhaps one screen per question, making it more fun. Possibly.
Yes.
Yeah. I would say, Carly, like this is all canonized opinion. So look at your stats. If you're seeing drop off, or if you're seeing people not fill out the form, then take our, advice to consideration. But if you're like, hey, screw you guys, everybody, we're getting 80% of the people filling out, then congrats, But I think you do want to filter it a little bit more. And then even like, I think for a dating app, I want to get in too as quickly as possible. And then maybe as I start incorporating, like, hey, help us find better matches, or these good matches, want to fill out your profile a little bit more. And so maybe even at the top, how LinkedIn does is your profile is like 75% complete. Then give me a reminder to do that too.
Yes.
Now I'm a little bit confused on what I have to do here. Granted, I don't use any dating apps, right? So I guess okay, so it is the swipe feature. I don't know why the heart is already in color. Like, did I already like her? That's what makes me think too. So anyways.
Yeah, I think, well, I know. So again, we're kind of borrowing the context of other dating apps, and where it's just like, okay, you see a screen, you're probably going to swipe left to swipe right. So I would say that the people who are, consistently on dating apps, I didn't know that you could kind of swipe down. But it's the people who are consistently on dating apps, they do kind of have that context. So I think it's okay. But the heart should be probably an outline of letting me know whether or not, I like this person. Also, you should kind of prompt the person of, there should be some type of just orientation to come on the screen, because the first thing I did was fill out my information, and now I'm like on the dating screen, right? I'm on the discovery screen, right? You kind of want to give me you want to give me some type of intro to let me know. And I know that it might not seem that it's important. However, people like the little pop up, all that stuff. Yeah.
I'm just gonna swipe.
The app looks good too. That's great. That's the other thing.
A little too young. Looks amazing for 64. That's great.
Oh wow.
Yeah, too young. Right age. Oh man, I'm having a hard time swiping.
Oh. Is it
Isabel?
So what happens if you press the heart? Well, actually press the heart.
Press it.
Yeah.
See what happens. Oh, sent successfully. Yeah, I think
I gotta know what that means. So yes.
Yeah, I have no idea what that meant too. Thanks, also, Ken. On this, you look like a bird. Well, what I also want to say is, like, there are apps that are specific to, so like, don't be afraid of niching down, right? Like, there's like newly divorced people apps. There's like different culture apps, like there. So like, I think with a dating app, maybe even consider, like, don't be afraid. That's all I'm saying. Like, don't be afraid. If you're finding like, I'm not finding enough traction here, don't be afraid of actually like going niche down. Too young. Whoa, yes. Too young.
Yeah. So I mean, tapping a notification. Oh, sorry. Tapping the bell.
What's this? Refresh? Oh, that was your last. Oh, undo. Yeah. I see. I thought that was refresh, but I don't know. What do you think this middle button was?
So I do think that the middle button is undo.
Okay.
But the thing that I'm seeing is it is borrowing a lot of context from other applications, which is cool. Which is fine. It's actually not an issue. It's just that depending on who your audience is, because right now I don't know what the audience is at all. Right now it seems very broad, but definitely niching down would help. I like the whole newly divorced or cultural, like those applications will start coming to I mean, they're important, and they need to be here, especially since Tinder and Hinge, they have a lot of the market share already, right? Yeah. And they're not going to niche down, right? Tinder's never going to create another product that's like Tinder for XYZ So it's up to everyone else to then kind of create the niche product that does provide that service. For the, I mean, this screen is pretty okay.
So I think, I think I wouldn't do it like this, Carly. I don't know if it says the same thing or not. but it looks like it's saying the same thing when I'm tapping on these different subscriptions.
Mhm.
What Ken, I don't know anything about dating apps, but I do
Mhm.
know that with other subscription apps, showing this pricing page during that onboarding flow actually does increase conversions and sales and revenue. So I'm not sure about dating apps if they do the same thing. So take with that. But I know with other subscription apps, you might want to show this pricing page on the onboarding process. What I would personally do is break this out, Carly, into being like putting it as the text, and then these buttons that I can't crush anymore, these buttons just become me picking a plan. And consider having a yearly. The yearly is the one that is going to be the biggest thing for you. And so consider having a trial, and then definitely having a yearly, like a monthly, 3-month, and then a yearly, to make the yearly. And you want more people on the yearly because churn rate, LTV, everything goes up when you get people on the yearly plan. But I would put this text up here: start a live date, subscription, or subscription today is probably not the right wording. Subscribe today. Nobody wants to subscribe. So, lead with the benefit, find a date faster or get more matches, whatever the benefits are to getting a subscription.
I would also while people are swiping, those first 10 swipes, you want to also pop this up and say, hey,
good idea.
That definitely allows you to really kind of capture somebody in mid-process. That's when you could say, here are the benefits of having a subscription. Here's why you would have here's why you would do get the monthly versus the yearly. That's really the best time to do it, because you have interrupted them, which is fine because they're doing something that they like. The swiping motion is also very fluid and very natural for people to do. So once you've interrupted them in that flow, you could then sell to them.
I like it. All right, let me see who I missed before. Want to make sure we say hi to everybody, because I appreciate you guys for coming here. Julio, what's happening? Optimize. Jojo, Matthew, good to see you. I think you're in LA if I'm not mistaken. And then Bishwat says hi, Ken. Good. Daniel. Okay, I got that. All right, I think we're good. There's a lot of comments about the app too in there. We got Mario from Greece. Awesome, man. I hope to visit Greece one day. All right, cool. I think we're good. All right, Ken. Well, it's my favorite part of the show. Do you have your favorite dad joke memorized?
Dad joke? Well,
you can battle, Ken.
Let me see. I have one. I had one that did really well on TikTok. I think. Shoot, I'm blanking.
All right, I'll give you some time. All right, Ken. So I'll start.
Okay.
When it has Ken, we'll make a dad joke battle. So once you have yours, if you leave in the comments which joke you like better, mine or Ken's. Okay. I got one that I think it's more kid oriented. I'll go with this one. All right. Ken, what kind of people never get angry? What kind of people never get angry? You look like a man that never gets angry. So what kind of people never get angry?
Happy people.
What's that?
I said happy people.
Happy people. Yeah. Nomads. Nomads. All right. Okay. Do you remember yours?
I think I got one.
Okay.
What type of eggs did the evil chicken lay?
What kind of eggs did the evil chicken lay? I have no idea, Ken.
Deviled eggs.
Deviled eggs. I like it. All right. Put in the comments S for Steve, or if you're too lazy, put S, put Steve or Ken. Let's see who won that. And maybe Ken and I will loser buys a beer. How about that, Ken? I don't drink. I have to go 0.0, but we'll do that. All right, we got Daryl's app. Haha, my daughter would love that. Like it. And then, cool. I think everybody else we're talking about the Carly's app. So Carly, you got a lot of great feedback in the comments if you want to take a look at that. All right, let's take a look at Daryl's app. Daryl says ASO and downloads. That's what he's looking for. All right, cool. Let's take a look.
So initially, the first thing that pops out is the text, right? It is difficult to read.
Yeah.
It could just be the font choice. It could be because, I think it's just a font choice, and the purple kind of absorbs the text. So if I'm a user, I'm not reading anything there at all. I'm just looking at your screenshots, and you could probably get away with just
Look how small it is
on the phone.
Yeah.
it's really difficult to actually see, right? So I'm not looking at it. Also, I don't know what this app does. So the only way that I'm downloading this app is not through searching, because I'm not going to search for Bass Parlor. I'm just going to, unless I know you, right?
Right.
So because of that, you need to say exactly what your app does. In that initial, like, Bass Parlor : this is what my app does, right? Yeah. So the other thing is, you want to, because your app connects people with each other, you want to show that connection happening in your screenshots, right? You want to kind of invoke that emotion of, oh, well, I can find people who make music with, like, together. And the only reason why I know this information is because I have to download the app first. So you need to lead with that. That's the biggest emotional benefit that you get from your application. That needs to be in your screenshots.
Yeah, I like it. I completely agree with that as well. And I think, Daryl, I was emailing back and forth with him. So he does have a bit of a community, but it is like, your website is so cool. Like, find your music team, boom, right? Like, you can easily just put that in big text. I think dashboard is like, who the heck? Like, I don't want a dashboard. Like, I don't want another dashboard to look at. So lead with the benefit. Combine your creativity, handpick your music team, complete your music project. I mean, these are words that you already have on your website. So I would kind of use that, and then, like, put artists, musicians. I love that, right? Like, so, like, it's the first screenshot would be find your music team. Second screenshot is find your music partner, and then maybe tilt this screen, the iPhone screen, a little bit, and then be like, artists, producers, musicians. I forgot what you said, but, like, instrumentalists, audio engineers. Like, add that to that, so that people understand what kind of people you might be able to find on the app too.
Yeah, I mean, your website is great, right?
Right.
You need to take the same design and same emotion that you invoke and put that on the screen, because essentially people are going to look for music app or partnering with other people, or they're going to search that in the App Store, or they're going to search that in Google, right? So you want to ensure that it's like, I would even say Bass Parlor : the most powerful app for matching music makers, as your title.
Yeah.
That way you're
right here.
You're getting better search results, and you're also telling people exactly what you do.
Yeah. Yeah. Joe agrees with you. Keeping up with the comments. I need a producer again. But I agree with that. And Joe was kind of saying in the comments, he loves this background image. So you can get away with just not having any, like, literal screens of the app, and just using this beautiful background image and being like the most powerful app for matching music makers in that. Okay. And then I'm going to look at your Google Play just to see if there's anything different. Upload your music. So it does change a little bit. Find your music partner. Interesting. I think because you have a video right here, consider using a video on Google Play as well. I haven't done a test to see if that helps with your ASO at all, but what my thinking would be, the way I would test this is optimize the YouTube video for the keywords that you want to target, and then upload it into your Google Play. And that way, it helps it all. So that's one thing that I would try to test from an ASO perspective. What I will also say, Daryl, is, your app title right here, Bass Parlor, is that's where your keyword rankings are going to be the most heavyweight priority, right? So you want to have your best keyword. I don't know if a lot of people are searching for, like, find a musician or things like that, but musician, audio engineers, music producers, those might be keywords that you want to go after. And then also think about new platforms that just launched, like the Versus platform, and see if you might be able to leverage their name and their popularity, because with such a new platform like that, they might not have like as difficulty score as high as a SoundCloud might already have. So from an ASO perspective, that's how I would do. Put it in your keyword field. That's how you might grow more downloads that way.
Yeah, I love the kind of borrowing whatever is popular right now, kind of tweak it to what you're doing. So definitely borrowing versus current brand recognition, and kind of piggybacking on that, that'll definitely help.
Yeah, now I'll lead this too. This is just one of the ASO 101, the Spanish Mexico, Daryl. So I put the changes to Mexico is indexed by the US App Store. So if you use English keywords, definitely have a different title, a different subtitle as what you have in the English to help you better rank. So what I typically do, and this is where you can get creative, if you want to use Verses, if you want to use SoundCloud, if you want to use, I don't know, any other platform out there, like popular DJs might be even good names to go after, but this is where you would hide some of the trademark stuff. Now be careful.
Oh yeah.
Be careful. You know, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not trying to tell you something illegal that you might get you like in trouble with App Store, but be careful. But most of the time, Apple only pays attention to the US App Store when they're reviewing the apps, and then not so much the Spanish Mexico. But that's when we tend to hide some of the other brand names because it's in the visible sections of the App Store. Okay.
Oh yeah.
How did I do, Ken? Was that like
it was excellent? Yeah, a lot of people don't know about the Mexico trick. But it's just something that we have to do to be competitive in today's landscape. So
all right, let's take a quick look at the app, Daryl. I know you didn't ask for it, but I'm going to give it to you anyways. Again, so don't ask for this right away because usually I say no. Give me a reason to enable it. But I will, since you're here, I'll see. I have a hard time saying no when people are there. All right, I'm gonna sign up. Go ahead, Ken.
So again, you do have a skip button. Yeah, you can skip sign up, but
okay. Shoot, I didn't even notice that. Okay, only while using the app. I like that. Yeah, explore talent. Oh, this is great. There's a lot of people here. I love the social proof, the numbers. 108 artists, 71 producers, 41 instrumentalists. That's great.
Yeah, I would, and I guess onboarding is my thing for the week. I would add some type of onboarding to orient the user, especially after they've downloaded it. So this is what we do. We connect you with artists. This is how we do it. All of that needs to be right. Oh yeah, this I love. The design of the app is pretty great.
Oh, see, this is perfect. Look, I'm trying to play it, and she's like, "Nah, you can't do that. You got to sign up." I like that. I like that. Yep. That's great, Daryl. All right, I'll sign up now.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ken.
Oh no, it's all good. What was I gonna say? Yeah, I again, as usual, I would after they download the app, lead with a video. People like your application is about media, right? So people are going to want to see like, oh my gosh, here are two people who met on the application. They're making a song or they're doing stuff together. If you do that, then you kind of remind the user and you orient them around what the application is supposed to do. Two, you're building an emotional connection with them right there because their problem is I need somebody to help me on this track, right? Or I need a writer, or I need a vocalist. That's a big problem. If you connect with them on I wouldn't do a video tutorial because video tutorials can be, you have to do a video tutorial really right, and it has to be very short. I would just more kind of give them maybe like a background video, and then lead them then into the sign up process first, right? I would do something more along the lines of that. I would only do a video tutorial if people have a tough time actually. Oh, yeah, serif fonts reminds me of newspapers. I wouldn't. I would only do video tutorials if people actually have a difficult time figuring out how to use your app. If they don't, then kind of throw out the video. Like don't do it. But if they do, then you just have to test your video tutorials, right? Because something that might seem obvious to you will not seem obvious to other people. So
yeah,
I think video tutorials in itself could just be like its own big topic.
The one thing I want to point out, Daryl, as I'm signing up, and so like you can't see it on your screen, but on my screen I see a keyboard. So my keyboard's there because I'm on. Let's see if it goes to the keyboard. So like when I'm on the password field and I confirm my password, the only button that I see is skip, right? And I have to scroll to see sign up. So I don't know how you change that UI, but I want to just point that out. Because I have to scroll, but then I'm done filling out the form. So like this matches, right? Like I'm done, but I'm like, where the heck is the sign up button?
Yeah.
It's way down here. So maybe consider I'm thinking maybe put the skip like a little X in the top right corner, right? And then here, put a little text that says sign up. and then another call to action up here, down here that says sign up.
Yeah.
Okay. So sign up. Let's see what happens. Cool. All right. Darn. All right. So I'll do that. But anyways, I'll check it out. Otherwise, the app looks really good.
Yeah, it's very well designed.
Yeah.
I like it. And yes, so somebody said something about having the serif fonts. So because of the medium that people will be seeing, so I know that in the application you're using the serif fonts. For the screenshots, I would stick to, you know, very bold, big letters, and a non-serif font, mainly because people skim. And if you provide any type of friction in their skimming process, they're just not going to do it, or you'll just have drop off.
Yeah.
I like to imagine that somebody's trying to use your app and they're being chased by like a serial killer, right? So you don't want them to, you don't want them to say, oh well, I have to do this. No, you want them to just quickly do whatever it is that they have to do. So if they're trying to download their app, make it so that if they're buffering, make it so that it's something that they could just do easily.
Yeah, right now I can't find the email, so it's taking a while, and I like that. Ken, you got so many good analogies, man. Like 20 million serial killer. Like I like it because I can't find the email. It's taking me a while, Daryl. So maybe just let me do it because you want me to connect anyways. And if I'm having trouble with that, maybe that's the way to do it. Here, let me try to just log in.
Let me uno momento.
Okay. And he said, one of the questions I got, Rassi got a great question. Says, hey, oh no, that's not your question. Let me look at it. Okay. Does metadata on the screenshots help with ASO? It actually might. So Google, there's two things that Google said. Now, I don't think it's going to change your keyword rankings dramatically, right? But if it might help in terms of going from like top 10 to maybe the 3 or 4 in terms of helping you just be the key difference maker. But a couple of things that we've been testing, Rassi, is, and this is Google saying this for a couple of years, is that one, the keywords, the words that you're using in the images actually get indexed. Now, this has been a few years and we haven't noticed a huge difference again. And then second thing I would definitely do, because you should do it anyways and it helps with SEO, is name your image screenshot files with the keywords you want to go after. Now, don't stuff it, right? But you would do that on any blog post anyways to help with your ASO. And so definitely do that as well. Again, I don't think you're going to see like, whoa, immediate impact. But I think, you know, you want to have the fundamentals anyways, like that the title, the short description, the long description all optimized. It might make a difference between just like a few variables here and there. But I would do it. It's best practice. Okay. All right. I think overall we're good with this, Daryl. So good feedback there. Do you think we'll ever be able to display? Tarun says, do you think we will ever be able to display the app on the lock screen? I think this is a Google thing that Google allows you to do, but who knows?
For Apple, I think it goes against their design methodology.
Yeah. All right, Ken, I'm going to go another joke, and then we'll go quickly onto the next app. How are you on time? How are you on time?
Cool. I'm fine. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, we'll do one more dad joke, and then we'll quickly into the last app with Trevor. Trevor's going to come on in a future live stream because he's doing pretty well as an indie developer, but we'll give him feedback on this app. All right, Ken, perfect for kids. What do you call a bear with no teeth? What do you call a bear with no teeth?
Well, I don't know.
A gummy bear.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Okay. Should I remove the whole verification process?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
But let me do stuff without having to verify it. Like Ken said, you know, I signed up, you got me super excited, and then now I'm just continually waiting for that verification, and the serial killer is right there. So
exactly, that's the serial killer is not going to wait for you. Why do melons have weddings?
I didn't even know you had another one. Why do melons have weddings, Ken?
Oh, because they can't elope. Cantaloupe.
I like it. I like it. All right, guys. Oh, I love these jokes. They're hilarious. All right. No, not Daryl. Trevor says increasing sales. Okay. So Trevor's doing pretty well. I've been emailing back and forth. And again, I was like, hey, great stuff. So Trevor, we're going to have you on. But I think in the beginning, just the screenshots, I would probably lead with this. These are not that pretty, Trevor. So just talk about like, what's the big win? What am I getting out of this? I think this is a very niche product. And so you got to use verbiage that speaks to them. Right.
Yes.
So
I don't think they can see your screen.
Oh, sorry. That's right. Thank you, Ken. I've had guests that just leave me hanging. But yeah.
So it's more, so from my perspective, yes, it is probably very niche and you probably don't need a lot of design here. I would kind of focus the screenshots more on kind of just the benefits, like, hey, this is why you need this. I want to get on this page and then absolutely know that I found the right app, right? So even though I could like look at the screenshots and kind of tell, I would still put a little bit more love into the screenshots just so that we know exactly what is going on. So yeah.
I think this is a fishing app, so it's kind of like catch more fish, I guess, right? Like, and then talk about, I don't know anything about fishing, but like troll master. So like, there's got to be verbiage that you can use, Trevor, to be like, boom, hey, this is what the app does best. I mean, if we look at the website, generally the website looks so much better sometimes. Let's take a look. Troll master depth calculator fishing app, #1 rated trolling app. So I guess trolling is the big thing.
Yep.
All right. Let me just take a
look.
You
have yeah. So that the thing here is I would just do a little bit more design love on the app, right? This is probably just fine because I'm thinking that if it is the #1, well, I mean, it is the #1 trolling app. And I'm thinking that he's getting money, but he just wants a bigger increase in sales. So the way to do that is a little bit more design, a little bit more better UX, right? When people see something pretty, they're more likely to make a purchase.
Yeah.
So if you spend a little bit more time on just making the screenshots a little bit better, then you should actually be fine.
Agreed. Yeah. I agree with you. And then it could be like hundreds of lures because look at this list of lures.
Yeah.
So put that could be possible text for your screenshots. But you didn't want us to go there. We went there. Daryl, I finally got the email to verify my email verify my email. So I should be good to go. But that did take a while. All right, let's take a look at Trevor's app. Ooh, went straight into it. No onboarding experience. This was it.
Yes. So that's essentially what I would have said too. I mean, you don't necessarily need, so because this app is more of a utility, you don't necessarily need like a big onboarding sequence. I would make the user actually I would guide them through the first process of filling everything out. And then after that, you can kind of leave them alone, right? So you could just do a light touch on the onboarding. Then you could also I would align the stuff on top better, right? Right now it's center aligned. I'd make it left aligned, and that's just a UI UX situation. For actually doing the upgrade, this is a perfect opportunity for like you kind of have to have a better screen of just leading with the benefits, letting them know like what you can and cannot do. You are listing all of the lures, but I think you could do a little bit more by just selling to them, right? Yeah. Right now, so recently I read something about sales. You don't want to be an order taker; you want to sell, right? So right now, your app is kind of just taking orders, but if you were selling right to them, you would probably increase sales. So another thing that you could do is kind of give them a free trial of what this looks like, and then even kind of giving them a free trial or giving them like hey, if you So I personally don't like this, but it works. So, we're going to take my opinions and put it to the side.
Yeah.
If you give them a time limit, a sale that's based on a time limit. So if you upgrade within the first 7 days of downloading the app, you get a discount.
Yeah.
It works.
I
don't like it, but it works.
Yep. I've seen that too. And it does work. And then, like people are probably, you got to think about, Trevor, when people are downloading the app, they might be like going to their fishing trip, right? Like, or they're going the next day. And so you probably got them at a really good point in their journey. So I like that idea with Ken. And a couple of things, I think you got to re-optimize this. Like we had a question app back a few months ago, Ken, and we've been promoting longer pricing pages. And while we're doing this app audit, my guest had the first version and I had a longer version. I asked the person, he was in the comments, I was like, hey, which one's outperforming? He said the longer pricing pages. So like niche apps, like there's room. And Trevor, you shared some data with me and you're doing pretty well. But I agree, if you optimize this page, that's all I'd be focusing on right now. If I were you, I think you can do a lot more with terms of sales. And so like have some text, look at the past YouTube streams we've done, but a longer pricing page. Super Mama is the one that has gone to 12x his pricing page, given some of the things that we've been talking about. And so I would look at Super Mama as their pricing page example. The other thing with Ken, what Ken said with just like one or two little onboarding, like number one trolling master, catch more fish, blah, blah. And then hit him with the pricing page. Last week, a couple of weeks ago, we had Nick on and he 5x his revenues. And he's like, I didn't believe you, Steve, but he put the pricing page on the onboarding process and he started tracking it, Ken, and he saw 63% of his in-app purchases come from the onboarding welcome flow screens. Yep. So definitely have that in there. That's why having the one or two screens just to remind people what the app does. And then you can say, boom, want to upgrade, limited time offer, kind of like what Ken said, 15 minutes to get that offer. You'll get way more sales that way too.
Yeah. And I like the icon. I know it's niche, but whatever.
You love the icon?
Yeah, I like it. It lets me know exactly what I'm getting into.
I think you can hire a real designer for this. It looks a little bit like 1990 something. It is. Like front page days. That's how I made websites back in the day, Ken.
You did front page? Yeah, I did front page too.
Dreamweaver, front page, graduate Dreamweaver. All right, we're aging ourselves. All right, here it is. Ken, I agree with this, man. Alex says this is the best day of dad jokes we've ever had. All great. Thank you, Ken. You came locked and loaded. I love it. Hope you got one more because I got one more. And then
I have one. I have one that I was like working on. So I'll
hold on one second, Ken.
Release it.
I'm gonna go through some of this. Trevor says the app currently lets people get data on 7 lures for free. Okay, good stuff. And then great info. Thanks, guys. Trevor, hopefully you do some things, and then when we have you back on, you can share some of the results that you've seen through that. All right, go ahead, Ken. Take it away. You want to go first this time?
Yeah, sure. This is super corny. What is a wizard's favorite computer program?
A wizard?
Wizard.
Like wizard. Favorite computer program. Okay.
Actually,
I have no idea. What is it?
Favorite computer program?
I'm sorry? Okay. I love it. I stepped on it. Okay. I stepped on it.
I'm working on that one.
Do you make these up?
Yeah. I sit around thinking about this.
Oh my goodness. You gotta come back. Okay. All right. I'll share one that I actually made up. I usually go to Reddit for these things, dad jokes, subreddit. All right. I got one that I made up. All right, Ken. So this is a great battle because we both came up with these jokes. What's a cow's favorite exercise?
Mowing the lawn.
I think I screwed it up, but building its muscles. I built it up. Or I think I was like, why do cows, do burpees or something? That's probably a better way of saying it. All right, we're gonna workshop that. Ken, next time we're just gonna workshop jokes. All right, that's fine. That's what we're doing over beer. All right, hey guys, you're gonna decide who owes who beer. So put it in the comments whose dad jokes you like of all three. Ken's or mine, Steve or Ken, and then when Ken and I finally meet in person or get together in person, we've already met in person, we'll get some beers. So the website, if you want to check out Ken and his team, look, Ken's got some great feedback on the UI. I love when a app development firm helps me with the UI UX too, because sometimes they're like, here, we built the app, but it looks freaking ugly. So go check them out. Is vermillionsky.com, vermillionsky.com. It is linked up in the YouTube description, so you can click on that link. They're going to really help you out. Beautiful website. It's an indication that you'll get a beautiful app as well. Ken, if the audience wants to follow up with you personally, you want to send them anywhere else?
Oh yeah, find me on LinkedIn or send a message through the website. I always give out free advice because I think it's really important. I want to see the app industry blow up, and I mean it's already blown up, but I want to see people making more apps. I love entrepreneurship and startups, and any way that I can help, I'm always around.
Yeah, I love it. All right. Keep working on it, guys. Love it. Thanks, Bianca. And then Carly says you both deserve a beer. Thanks, guys. All right. Well, I'm going to do one solid for Daryl. So, Ken, if you got to run, go ahead and run. Daryl said, hey, now that you can sign in, can you go through the app real quick? All right. Daryl, I got you.
Well, I could, yeah, I'll stay for a little bit.
Got you, man. All right. I love it. Okay, so I signed in. He's like, hey, yo, you wanna sign up?
No, I think that's fine. Yeah, this is you're letting people know like what they're getting into. You're let people know that, hey, there's a premium version of your app really early on, possibly in the onboarding process. Because some people might say, you know what, I'll just do it. I'll buy it. And you that's a sale, right? You don't want to miss that opportunity.
So I think what I would do is reorganize this. Again, monthly is going to be, yearly is going to be huge, Daryl, because obviously you're going to make more money, right? Lifetime user, all this stuff, everything, like we said before, lifetime value, everything goes up, and less churn for yearly users. So what I would do personally is reorganize this and put it into a nice little table, have the prices in there. So free, there's a pricing table that you can have. It's free and then premium, and then you kind of list out, hey, what do you get for all this, so that it looks more like a table. And then these plans become little boxes. Think about 3 horizontal boxes, right? Free, which is your current plan, so you probably don't want that, but like monthly, yearly type of thing. And then tell them about, again, the members you already have. So it's hit them with the social proof, hit them with the testimonials that I think you already have on your website. So hit them with all those on this pricing page and really get them to want to sign up. And I don't know if this seems like it's a $299. Okay, this seems like something else, but that's what I would personally change from this pricing page. Definitely have a year. So I'm gonna stick with the free and move on. Okay, cool. All right, cool.
Yeah. Never force people to enter in information unless they're getting a benefit immediately. So I would move this profile creation towards actually reaching out to somebody. And again, I would keep it done in sections, right? I love the example from LinkedIn where it says, hey, your profile is 33% complete. You got to fill this out. You got to fill that out. That prompts people to actually get to 100%. It allows people to kind of make a mental goal for themselves to say, eventually I'm going to be at 100%. Some people don't, but never, again, serial killer.
Yeah, I agree. And it sucks because what if I'm just looking to hire somebody, right? Like, I don't know if you want that, right, Daryl, but I wanted it. The way that I came into it, this is just one person's journey, was I found an artist I liked. I wanted to listen to it. Now you're making me fill out all this information. I already signed up. Now you're making me fill this information where, the normal user would be like, bye. You know what I mean? That's what most people would do. But, because we're looking at your app, we're going to be patient with you. But I think most people would be like, all right, forget it. I'll go to Craigslist. And I don't even know how to finish. Oh, okay. Save and continue. Okay. Skip. So I can skip all this stuff. Think about, like, maybe there are people who want to come in just to hire somebody.
Yep.
And I don't fall in any of this camp. So I'm just looking to hire somebody. What if I added more skip? I think so, right? Like, allow me to skip.
But then make the skip buttons. Use a button. Don't make it just a text button. Make it so that it's, encapsulated in a physical button, like make the background purple or make it just a different color. than all of your other buttons. So the person understands, I can skip.
I think we can hear that, but it's not, the audio is not coming through properly. But I guess I can message her like this. Yep, cool. Yeah, see, what if I just wanted to message her, but you made me do all this stuff?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna X out of that. I like that. Everything else looks really good.
Yeah.
Soul VR. Yep, love this. Uploaded tracks. Love it. Everything else looks really good. I mean, it's really solid. Other than that, yep, cool.
Yeah, just make sure that people.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead, Ken.
Oh yeah, just make sure that people, you aren't holding people hostage for their information.
Yeah, and one thing I would do is, this is going to be, again, data, right? Like onboarding process. I'm talking to the pricing page. They'll like have a way for me to upgrade somewhere on this main screen, because back to Nick's thing where he tracked everything. So thank you, Nick. He got 25% of his in-app purchases through this main page. So, almost 80%, 90% of his sales were coming through either the onboarding process, the welcome flow, or this main page. So have somewhere where I can upgrade. Don't hide it onto this account. That's where most people do. Guess what the percentage was on the settings? It was like under 10%, like 5%, 8% of the people actually went to the settings and upgraded. So if you want people to upgrade, have some way, either in the top 3 bars, the little search stuff, or somewhere right here, because there's room, right? Like under featured headlines, or even here. Maybe you don't want to ruin the UI here, but maybe down here is a great spot where you can say, meet more, like whatever the benefit is for me to upgrade and subscribe, put it in there at the very bottom as well.
Yeah, definitely. Don't hide. You always be selling, but just don't hide your sales page, because then a lot of people just won't know.
Exactly. Just like Ken and I, right? Like, let's talk, right? It's right here. It's always there, right? You go to your blog, let's talk. You go to portfolio, let's talk, right? So every place, help, we tell you that's where we want to guide you through. So you wouldn't ever see any website hiding the fact that they don't have pricing, contact us. Because that'd just be a horrible way of running a business. The same thing applies for the mobile stuff. Okie dokie. All right, Daryl, hope that was helpful, my friend. You owe us a beer now, Daryl.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So Daryl, you owe us. Ken, you got one more dad joke in you before we end it?
Sure. I'll see if I can think of one. I know I have a Poseidon dad joke, and I'm just trying to think. It goes like Poseidon had 4 sons. No, that's not it. You go first, and I'll
go first.
I'll just riff off of you.
I cheated. All right, I got the dad jokes. All right, Ken, I spent my entire life savings. I'm sorry. Let me fix that cadence. I spent my entire life savings on pasta. It was worth every penny. All right.
Oh no! This is an old one. Okay. This is probably the first dad joke, but I don't trust stairs because they're always up to something.
I don't trust stairs because they're always up to something. I love it. All right, what makes a successful dating app? Mitchell, one that has people in there. That's it, right? Like,
yeah. For dating apps, you really want. Right now, you really want people to niche, like you really want a niche, right? Make a dating app for a specific community, and they're easy to target. They're easy to make ads for.
Yeah.
Just that, and you also want to make sure that the people find what they're looking for, right? Hinge's idea is a dating app that makes you want to delete it eventually, right? That's their whole branding. You don't want people. You want somebody to use your dating app for a month. Yeah. Do that, and then you're a millionaire, just like those people at Hinge.
Mitchell, don't forget to niche down. Like, there's senior dating. I mean, there is so many niche dating apps out there, and like Ken said before, like people they have a folder of dating apps. It isn't just one. So like there is room in the opportunity. And Ken, Daryl says, I got y'all. Good. All right, Daryl, we're coming. All right. This is great. Ken, thanks again, my friend. The website, if you guys want to check them out, Daryl, stop asking questions. We're done. All right. It's vermillionsky.com, vermillionsky.com, and check out Ken on LinkedIn. Ken, thank you so much. You got to come back anytime, man. I loved your energy. I loved your dad jokes. I loved how we both sold each other's dad jokes. You know what I mean? You got to laugh. Like, that's part of it.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So have me on anytime, and we'll talk soon.
Any last plugs you want to put in?
Yeah, if anybody wants to, if you have an app idea or if you have an existing app that needs help or a little bit of love, we can help you out with that. And work with us. We actually have a new program. I call it the startup program. It's everything that you need to actually build your app, because people, we might not all just have $100,000, in our checking account ready to go. So this is just the marketing, the research, everything that's needed to help you get funded, and then use an investor's money to actually build the application. So we have that. That's it's new. We have a couple of people who have gone through it. They've had really great results.
That's awesome.
And yeah, if you're interested, let me know.
You're in New York, right, Ken?
Yep.
Cool. All right. Well, that is awesome. Ken, thanks again, man. I appreciate you. We'll have you back on. It was a great time. We see it in the comments too. So this is awesome. Ken, thank you guys so much. And next week, actually, I should have been looking at this before as you were talking instead of just staring at your beautiful eyes. I don't know who's going to be coming on next week, but we'll be here next week. I'm getting my second shot on Thursday afternoon. So hopefully I'll be okay, but I will be here next week coming at you. And if not, I'm going to ask Ken. Ken, can you fill in for me?
Sure, why not?
All right, guys, have a great weekend, and I'll see you next Friday. Peace.
Take care, everyone.